Welcome to our annual award ceremony. I think we're ready to start. So at this moment, I'm going to ask you to turn down the volume on your cellulars, please. And have a seat, everybody. Okay? So we're all set. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Xiaojuan Christine Yang, and I'm a proud TEST graduate. I would like to welcome you to the Great Adult Learning Center's annual awards program. Please stand. And join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The lights are very bright on the side. They're definitely working, and I can't see. But it's okay. So good morning. My name is Dr. Aaron Hatwood, and I'm the director of the Adult Learning Center. And I have the privilege of welcoming all of you to our 49th annual awards ceremony. Today we've come together to celebrate the achievements of some of our most outstanding graduates and honorees. Joining us in recognizing their wonderful accomplishments are a number of honored guests who I'd like to introduce to you at this time. Please join me in welcoming our Board of Education President, Ms. Rebecca Sassouni, Vice President Donna Perez, Trustees Barbara Berkowitz and Jeff Shee, and Superintendent of Schools Dr. Prendergast, and Central Office Administrators. Thank you so much for joining us on this occasion. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank my distinguished teaching faculty who are the cornerstones of our extraordinary school, serving students from more than 40 countries around the world. Ms. Gaver and our guidance department, paraprofessionals, and support staff for creating a school culture that is always welcoming, kind, and empathic, and it is very much appreciated. Like many places, the last several years have been quite challenging due to a small complication called COVID-19. Most people may not know that in addition to the Adult Learning Center, our office is also responsible for homebound instruction, which means that any time a student is out in pre-K through grade 12, it is our office, they're out for an extended period of time. For example, if they test positive and they have to be quarantined, it's our office that makes all the academic requirements and arrangements for them to receive their instruction at home. To put it in context, the year before COVID, we provided 45 students with homebound instruction for the entire school year. Last year, that number went up to 450 students. This year, we're well over 1,300 students. And when I say our office, I really mean Donna Fontanetta and Lindsay Baradas. They have been doing all of this work in addition to taking care of all the important details behind the scenes necessary for running the Adult Learning Center. They've done this without complaint, most times, and I'm incredibly thankful for both of you for your service to the larger Great Neck School community. Thank you very much. And lastly, I'd like to thank Dr. Holtzman and his staff for hosting us this morning at North High. This was a very tough call. We really wanted to be outside. I can't tell you how many meetings we had this week about the weather. And I'm really happy that we decided to come here to this magnificent auditorium because it's the absolute perfect setting for this occasion. Now to our graduates and award recipients. So before I begin, I just want to say, when you're in the business of education, this is the moment that we all love. It's like the feeling you get when you're a kid playing in the park with your friends on a hot summer day, and in the distance, you hear that faint sound of the ice cream truck. Do you remember that? Or the day before Christmas or Hanukkah, when you just can't go to sleep because you know the next morning is going to be a really good day. Well, that is what we, those of us on the stage, think about when we get to share this moment with you. So let me begin by stating right at the very onset that I'm so proud of all of your hard work, perseverance, and the tenacity that you demonstrated along the journey that has led you to this moment of celebration. I am so happy for you and your families. The beauty of these moments, when you reflect on how we got here, is the recognition that not a single person here today could have done it alone, including me. Your success required people in your life who love you, believed in your future, showed you empathy, kindness, or told you that you can do it without any real evidence that you could actually do it. And what about the people in your life that taught you not to just dream, but dream big? Maybe some of those people in your life are not with you anymore. And in that case, I hope you remember them today. If they are here with you this morning, I hope you will find your own way to express your gratitude for all the steps and missteps that led you here today. Graduations are always accompanied with a wide range of emotions, from pure joy and excitement to sadness and maybe even some anxiousness as you close one chapter of your life, readying yourself to begin anew. Our lives are all about working really hard to complete meaningful tasks, which is important because only when they come to an end can we make space for new beginnings. The sum total of our life consists of the lived experiences between the beginning and the end. I believe we all need to be prepared to keep bringing things to an end in order to feel the magic of new beginnings and make the most of opportunities that are surely awaiting each and every one of you. It's John Shar, an American theorist, who reminds us that the journey is not some place we are going, but one we are creating. The path to it are not found, but created, and the activity of creating them changes both the maker and the destination. Continue making your education a priority in your life, because the world needs more smart, hardworking, and kind people like all of you to solve really, really hard problems. So it is my distinct privilege to again congratulate all of tonight's award recipients, including the graduating class of 2022. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our Board of Education President, Ms. Rebecca Sassoon.
Good morning, everyone, and I'm going to speak from the bottom of my heart. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues who are here with me today, Ms. Perez, Ms. Berkowitz, and Mr. Shi. I'm sure that they are as happy for you as I am. I would also like to thank Dr. Hatwood and Dr. Prendergast. As you heard, it's been a challenging time for all of the educators who have been working overtime for quite a while. And also I'd like to acknowledge central office people who are here today, Dr. Lando and Ms. Newman and Ms. Kirby and Mr. Powell, who have been fielding a lot during these last several years as well. And it's really a good thing and a good feeling to feel like we have a culmination, something to be joyful about. The remainder of my remarks are actually just for Shayendra and Samira and Frank and Celso and Anne, Esmeralda, Velula, Yihuan, Crystal, Shangli, Longlun, and Xiaowan Christine. I want to tell you just a bit about Ashraf and about Susan and Madeline. Ashraf was my maternal grandmother, Susan is my mother-in-law, and Madeline is my mother. In 1970, Madeline had a baby, me. And in 1973, as a new immigrant to this country and a baby, she began attending adult learning classes just like the ones that you are in Tenafly, New Jersey. In around 1974 or 5, after she saw her daughter do that, Ashraf enrolled in adult learning classes in Tenafly, New Jersey, and learned how to read and write in English as an immigrant from Iran. In 1981 or 2, around there, Susan, who actually lives here in Great Neck, having escaped a revolution in the country of her birth, Iran, enrolled in classes in the same exact program that you are in, and learned to read and write in English, and as well how to drive. She was an adult with 3 children, but in the country that she came from, had not been permitted to drive, and learned to drive here in Great Neck, and as well how to read and write in English. I'm here to tell you that the decisions that those women made as adults with children to lift themselves up despite hardship had serious and wonderful consequences. I am the daughter of one of those women, the granddaughter of another, and the daughter-in-law of the other. And I can tell you that because my mother made time to learn, she encouraged my learning, and I ended up going to law school, and I stand before you now as a board president, as a first-generation American. The decisions that my mother-in-law made influenced her children, and I'm sharing this with you because right now we're celebrating each of you. And you should give yourself, each of you, a world of credit, because I don't know you, but I can be sure that each one of you had to make decisions on a daily basis to choose your learning instead of something else. Maybe it was making a living. Maybe it was time with a family member. Maybe it was time with a friend. But you chose to learn, and now you are here. And I'm here to tell you your learning never ends, and in Great Neck, continual learning is very important, and that's why this board and this administration continues to place a value on adult learning. A lot of communities do not have such programs, and all of the residents of Great Neck are basically supporting your learning for good reason, because your learning doesn't end today, and it doesn't end with you. So I'm genuinely happy for you. I hope that you take in all of the joy of this day, and I have no doubt that you're going to pay it forward throughout your lives. Congratulations.
It gives me a great pleasure to welcome to the podium our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Teresa Prendergast.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Great Neck Public Schools, I would like to recognize the members of our Board of Education and Central Administration, Dr. Hatwood, the faculty of the Adult Learning Center, graduates, students, family, and friends for attending this award celebration. Today, we have the pleasure of recognizing our students for their recent academic achievements. You made a choice to enroll in the Adult Learning Center, and whether your goal was to learn English as a new language, earn what was considered a high school equivalency diploma, or apply for U.S. citizenship, we are all here today to celebrate an important milestone in your life. Even on a day like today, all of us are here in this beautiful auditorium, and we are thrilled to be a part of your celebration. We applaud your persistence, your talents, your achievements, and your aspirations. No doubt, COVID may have interrupted your educational experience, in a profound and unprecedented way. However, you navigated each hurdle, and that is a testimony of your resilience, your resolve, and your strength of character. What you achieved today goes well beyond the certificate you will receive. Each of you made a conscious choice to improve your life. You set yourself on a path to success, and I know this accomplishment wasn't easy, and I'm sure you appreciate having those people in your life who supported you along the way. None of us ever really accomplished anything alone. So, this is the beginning of whatever it is you want, whether furthering your education or expanding upon your career choices. You now have the academic skills and credentials that you need to transition to a post-secondary education or to function more productively in the workforce. So here's my advice for you. Believe in yourself. Believe in your abilities and your own potential. Never let self-doubt hold you captive. You are worthy of all that you dream of and hope for in the future. You have worked hard, and while I know there may have been pressures that could have kept you from accomplishing your goals, you persevered. So continue to follow your dreams, and remember, an education is the one thing that can never be taken from you. Life circumstances may present some detours, but you must be persistent and follow your passions. After all, the possibilities are endless, and this is really just the beginning. Congratulations and best of luck to you in all future endeavors. Thank you.
At this time, we would like to thank our New York State public official, Nassau County Legislator Mazzy Maliza Phillip, Council Member Veronica Lurvy, and Town Supervisor Jennifer DeSina for acknowledging our 2022 graduates. Thank you.
Good morning. It is my honor to present to you the Outstanding Attendance Award recipients. These are recipients or students who have generated the most contact hours. And they are Farida Dolde, Amy Jiang, Runping Tang, Christine Yang. If you would just stand, please. Thank you. And Ying Zhang. Thank you and congratulations.
Usually our program kind of runs on its own, but I thought today, this is the first time since I've been director here in 16 years that we've only had one student speaker at graduation. And when I read Celso's speech, I was quite moved. And in addition to that, when I spoke to him this morning, I asked who was attending. And he shared with me that his mom and his dad, but his daughter's in school. I said, well, where does she go to school? And he said, she goes to North High School. So I'm not sure if she'd be able to make it. So I made a couple of calls, and his 9th grade daughter is here. And I just want to say that we're very proud of you, and we look forward to hearing your speech. Come on in.
Feels good to be 17 again. Yeah. I wish this wrinkle could graceful a day, but it's not gonna happen. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Celso Alves da Silva. Before I further introduce myself, I'd like to congratulate my peers and the class of 2022. I'd like to give special thanks to the staff and the district for having a facility like Clover Drive where adults can be given the opportunity to learn. See, I don't like to call Clover Drive a school, but rather home. You might ask why I call Clover Drive home. Well, it starts here. About 22 years ago, I immigrated from Brazil to the United States, and to be more specific, here at Great. I was a naive young man who believed in someone who promised to give me a job and prepare paperwork to me to live here and work. I could barely speak 3 words in English. Had no friends living in this country. However, the promise of a job and legalization was just a lie. I remember this as if it were yesterday when someone told me there was a school for adults that taught you how to speak English. At that time, the school was full and I was placed on a waiting list. Even though I was disappointed because I didn't stand very well, that person told me, I still came every morning with my little book. I sat in the reception room to learn. And that's when I met our great Elsie Esquivel. Along with all the great staff members like our legendary Mary Ross, my first teacher, Deidre Ruiz. She's not here, but I love her. I know you might be thinking, wow, it took this guy 22 years to get his high school equivalency diploma. Even if that were the case, I wouldn't be ashamed. I actually would be more proud because I'm a person who doesn't give up. So in the summer of 2006, I was in the lab and I was progressing toward achieving my diploma. This was difficult as I was working 2 jobs. Furthermore, I met people at work who, instead of motivating, discouraged me. Especially, I remember someone telling me that I should stop going to school and I should focus on making money. Another person at my part-time job, who I considered a friend at the time, said I wasn't good enough after I asked her to help me with an algebra problem. So, unfortunately, I let those words and those people get into my head. But I didn't leave the program because of those reasons. I actually left for a beautiful reason. In the summer of 2006, my beautiful wife, Flo Cespedes, gave me the news that I would be a dad for the first time to my amazing daughter, Janeiri, who's a stellar student right here at Great Neck North High. The next year, I would also be the father to my beautiful son, Samuel, a dedicated student as well, middle school. Of course, as everyone knows, raising a family is difficult, especially for low-income families. So it was hard for me to balance school, have 2 jobs, raise a family, so I left with my heart broken. But the dream of getting my diploma never died. Even though after working as a baker, I became more skilled and I would be able to be paid more, I still wanted my education. I've always loved to learn. Although education in Brazil wasn't so accessible, I didn't have the support of others, and I dropped out of school in 9th grade. So when I left the program at Clover Drive, every time I drove by that building, I would say, one day I'll come back. So it took me 14 years, believe it or not, to have the chance to come back. It's still as hard as it had been for many years, but fortunately, this time I had the full support to come back. As hard as it's been, but fortunately this time I had the right people by my side, including my beautiful wife, who gave me her full support to come back. Without her, I wouldn't be standing here today. As well as to my beautiful children and these great staff members, like Elsie, who pushed me to write an essay and who made me believe that I could achieve anything. I was shocked and I learned that I had passed all the subjects on the test exam on my first attempt. I couldn't believe that I was capable of doing this. So why I'm telling you this? It's not because I'm better than anyone here. I decided to tell my story because some of you that graduated or didn't graduate might have a similar story. So my dear friends, don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. It is possible for every one of us to climb to the top of the mountain, like this phrase he learned 22 years ago. Yes, you can. Thank you.
This is why I didn't have two speakers this year. And just for the record, I wasn't here 22 years ago. He came with me the second half of the story. Now I'd like to, we're going to have a presentation of ENL graduates. Ms. DiGiovanni.
Good morning, everyone. As Dr. Hedwood said, my name is Catherine DiGiovanni. I'm one of the ENL teachers at the Adult Learning Center, and I have the privilege of presenting to you today our ENL graduates. Some of these graduates joined the ENL program at the beginning level with little to no English, and others enrolled seeking to improve their English language skills. Today, we would like to recognize their accomplishment in testing out of the ENL classes, because they have achieved the highest level of English language proficiency for our ENL program. This achievement is one step closer to their goals. Our ENL graduates will remain a part of the Adult Learning Center community as they continue on to study in the high school equivalency program. ENL graduates, please stand and come forward. They're here, and we're going to give them their certificates. Congratulations, and let's give them a round of applause. Our first graduate is Mirna Arias. And our next graduate is In Zhang.
It is once again my honor and privilege to welcome everyone to this wonderful ceremony honoring our incredible students. Being here today represents a significant achievement for all of you, both academically and personally. Returning to school as an adult is not always an easy task, but you all made the decision to attend our amazing program. Many of you faced challenges along the way. You came to school in between working, taking care of a family, or tending to other responsibilities. There were probably times when you wanted to give up, but you didn't. Today, your dedication has paid off. Always remember that the more education you have, the more doors will open for opportunities. To quote Winnie the Pooh, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. You have proven that with your never-ending determination, commitment, and perseverance. Never stop believing in yourself and your capabilities. Congratulations to all of you on such a major accomplishment. Now we will have the presentation of the diplomas. Graduates, please rise. Shailenda Ator. Frank Velasquez Castillo. Celso Alves Castillo. Esmeralda Hernandez. Iwan Lee. Crystal Vasquez. Xuanli Wang. Christine Yang. The moving of the tassel on your graduation cap is a tradition that dates back thousands of years and symbolizes the transition from candidate to graduate. By virtue of the authority of the state of New York, vested in the Board of Education of Great Neck Public Schools, and by them delegated to me, it gives me great pleasure to confer upon you your high school equivalency diploma. Graduates, you may now move your tassels from right to left. It is with great pride that I introduce the graduating class of 2022. On your continued success.
So to all of our guests, thank you for joining us this morning to celebrate the wonderful accomplishments of all our award recipients, and especially the graduating class of 2022. We hope you can join us for some light refreshments in the back, and this officially brings to a close the end of the 2021-22 school year. Please travel home safely and have a wonderful summer. Graduates, this song is for you. Thank you.